The first time Mia noticed the food, she didn't think much of it. She was taking out the trash like she did every Tuesday night from the back entrance of the Goldstein estate. 3 bags, double tied, nothing unusual. But this time, one of the bags felt soft, not soggy or wet, just padded, heavy but in a familiar way. Curious, she peeked inside. There it was, a full tray of untouched pasta, neatly covered in foil. Next to it, a stack of sandwiches, each one wrapped, each one labeled with a day of the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. She frowned. It wasn't the food itself. She'd cleaned this kitchen for months. Mrs. Goldstein ordered from the city's most expensive private chef service, 200 a plate meals she barely touched. But this food looked different. Homemade, simple, practical. And the handwriting on the labels, it wasn't the sharp cursive Mrs. Goldstein used. This was rounder, almost like a child's. Mia closed the bag, took it out with the rest, but the image stayed in her mind like a splinter. The next week it happened again, a bag that didn't feel right. Inside, soup in mason jars, bread still warm, wrapped in a towel. This time there was a note, folded, slipped between 2 sandwiches. Please don't throw this away, I'm still hungry. Mia's breath caught. She looked around. Back door open, lights out in the main house. She checked the cameras she knew existed. All pointed toward the gate, none toward the backyard. She slipped the note into her coat. Didn't say a word. That night she sat on her mattress and stared at the paper. Still hungry? Who? Who was writing this? And why was it buried in trash? She had grown up in a place where hunger wasn't poetic. It was daily. And the way that note was written, politely like someone afraid to ask, it felt real. So the next Tuesday, she came back after her shift. She told the security guard she forgot her headphones. He waved her in. She waited until the kitchen lights were off and Mrs. Goldstein's bedroom window was dark. Then she walked around the back of the house, toward the garden. She found the compost bin, half covered in ivy, pulled the lid, empty. But next to it, barely visible behind the hedge, a small wooden structure. A shed? No. A playhouse. Faded red paint, broken shingles. She pushed the door open. Inside was a blanket, a pillow, a stack of books, and an empty thermos. And on the floor, a new note. Thank you for not throwing it away this time. My name is Ezra. I won't cause trouble. I promise. Her heart jumped. A child, living in the garden of a woman worth $14 million. She left without touching anything. The next day, she scrubbed the kitchen counters while Mrs. Goldstein drank white wine from a crystal glass. You know, the older woman said casually, I've always admired quiet help, people who know when to mind their own business. Mia looked up, just for a second. Mrs. Goldstein stared back and smiled, but it wasn't warm, it was a warning. Mia couldn't stop thinking about the boy in the garden. Ezra. She didn't sleep that night. She kept replaying it over and over, the note, the empty thermos, the careful handwriting. Who was he? Why was he hiding? And most of all, why was he being fed through trash bags? The next morning, she Googled the Goldstein estate. No children, no staff registered as live-in. The last house guest mentioned in any article was a niece from New York. And that was 2 years ago. She searched for missing children in the area. Nothing. She even checked police reports for break-ins, trespassing, runaways. Still nothing. By Thursday, curiosity became urgency. After work, she made 2 sandwiches, tucked them into her coat, and walked to the back garden. The sun had set, the wind was sharp, but the door to the playhouse was ajar, and there he was. Ezra, a boy, maybe 10, maybe younger, with sharp eyes and a torn hoodie. His cheeks were thin, but he sat straight, proud, like someone used to fending for himself. He didn't flinch when he saw her. He just asked, "Did she send you?" "No," Mia said, "I came on my own." He studied her, then nodded once. "Then you can come in." They sat on opposite sides of the playhouse. She handed him the sandwiches. He unwrapped one slowly like it was fragile. "You've been living here long?" "A while," he said with his mouth full. "I'm not really supposed to be here." "I figured. He looked up. But I'm not hiding from her. She's hiding me. Mia blinked. What? Ezra swallowed hard. She doesn't want people to know I exist. She said I ruined the story. What story? He pointed toward the big house. The one she tells everyone, that she's a grieving widow, that she never had kids. Mia went cold. You're her son? Ezra nodded. I was born after the accident, he said. The one that killed my dad. She told the press she lost everything. It made people feel bad for her. She got famous, sympathy donations, even wrote a book. But she had me move between houses, nannies, tutors. I was never in public, never on paper. But why? Ezra's face darkened. She says I have my father's eyes and his temper. Mia stared at him. She didn't know what to say. Not yet. The next day at work, Mrs. Goldstein was calm, polished, the same cold smile, until Mia mentioned the garden. Beautiful this time of year, she said quietly. Mrs. Goldstein froze mid-sip, then slowly set her glass down. I hope you're not letting curiosity cloud your judgment, she said. No, ma'am, Mia replied, but she didn't look away. That night, the food didn't show up. No bag, no sandwiches, no note. Just silence in the garden. When Mia checked the playhouse, Ezra was gone. In his place, a page ripped from a book. On it, a message. She found the thermos. I'll be okay. I always am. Thank you. Mia ran to the back fence. Nothing. No sign of a boy. Just shadows and the sound of wind through branches. She stood there until her fingers went numb. Then she turned back toward the house and saw a light flick on upstairs. Mrs. Goldstein, staring down, glass in hand, curtain open, watching. Mia quit the job 2 days later. She didn't give a reason, didn't leave a note. She simply clocked out, took off the apron, and walked away. But the story wouldn't leave her. She kept thinking of Ezra, the way he spoke, the way he sat like he was guarding something older than himself, and the way Mrs. Goldstein watched her from that upstairs window. It wasn't anger in that stare. It was fear. A week passed, then 2. Mia found other work, cleaning offices at night, helping at her cousin's cafe in the mornings. Nothing special. But her mind kept returning to that tiny red playhouse. Then one day a package arrived. No return address. Inside, a book. The Widow's Silence, My Journey Beyond Tragedy by Eleanor Goldstein. Tucked between the pages, a new note. Page 217. She turned to it. A paragraph halfway down was highlighted. After losing my husband, I knew I would never be a mother.
My grief swallowed everything. I let the silence become my story. Mia felt something snap. She flipped to the back of the book. There, hidden in the acknowledgments, she found one line. To E.M. I never knew what to do with the light you gave me. That night, she drove back to the estate. It was empty. For sale. A faded sign leaned in the wind. But the garden was still there. And so was the playhouse. She opened the door. Inside was a sealed envelope. On the front, to the one who saw me. Inside, a letter. I'm okay. She's gone. I think she finally got tired of pretending. Or maybe she just ran out of pages. Someone came for me. Not the police. A man with the same eyes. He said he was my uncle. He read about her, read between the lines, and he found me. I'm not hiding anymore. Thank you. You were the only real person in the whole story. No signature. Just a pressed flower taped to the bottom of the page. A sunflower. Mia folded the letter, put it in her coat pocket, then closed the door of the playhouse behind her one last time. She didn't cry. She didn't need to. Because sometimes the truth doesn't need an audience. Just someone willing to see it. Thank you for watching. If you want to get more that kind of stories, press like and check out our channel.